Welcome to the deep dive. We're here to uh, cut through the noise and really deliver the key insights from the incredibly fast-moving world of artificial
It's
intelligence.
moving so fast.
Exactly. So today we're plunging into a stack of really compelling sources, all focused on AI's rapid evolution.
hmm
Our mission, basically to arm you with the knowledge, to understand this complex landscape, maybe uncover some surprising connections, and hopefully spark a few aha
Point.
moments.
Connecting those dots is key.
Totally. We're looking at everything: boardrooms, government deals, operating rooms, even teenage lives. And believe it or not, your next walk in the park, AI is kind of weaving itself into everything.
It really is everywhere.
We've got some genuinely thought-provoking material for you today, covering, global economics, personal health, the tech in your pocket,
Yeah.
the works.
And it's just remarkable, isn't it, how quickly AI has gone from these theoretical discussions to being this active, pervasive force in our daily lives, global structures,
Right.
everything. So this deep dive, it isn't just about listing facts, it's about connecting things across seemingly unrelated news items, showing how interconnected AI's influence really is.
Mm-hmm.
And as we navigate this accelerating landscape, the key challenge for all of us is understanding not just what's happening, but, what it truly means for the future.
Okay.
Today, we'll try and give you some foundational pieces to start forming those answers.
Excellent. So let's jump right in. Where are the biggest waves being made?
Mhm.
I'd say the economic and geopolitical chessboard of AI.
Good place to start. Follow the money.
Always. So NVIDIA, right, the chip powerhouse, they recently made this truly eye-opening announcement. Get this. Nearly 40% of their Q2 revenue, it came from just two customers.
40% from only two.
Yep, two, and they're unnamed. Think about that. Two entities driving almost half the revenue of a company that's just exploding right now.
Wow.
It signals more than just demand, doesn't it? It points to this unprecedented concentration of power.
Oh, it absolutely does. That level of concentrated investment, it suggests these couple of major players are essentially dictating the pace, maybe even the direction of the entire AI supply chain.
Right.
It shows the incredible scale of capital being deployed, for sure. But it also raises questions, market stability, supply chain resilience.
Mhm.
What about the smaller innovators trying to compete?
Yeah, good point.
It really hints at this growing consolidation of influence in the sector, and that could have ripple effects, way beyond just chip manufacturing.
And it's not just the private sector giants making these huge plays. Governments are keenly aware of the strategic importance.
Oh, definitely.
Take that recent, what was it, $5.7 billion agreement? It effectively locks Intel Foundry into a deal with the U.S. government.
The Intel deal.
Yeah. So the U.S. now holds a direct stake in Intel.
Hmm.
And there are big penalties if the chip foundry gets sold off. From your perspective, what's driving such a, direct government intervention in a company's strategy?
Well, this kind of agreement, it really underscores a major shift, I think. The motivation seems pretty clear. It's about cementing Washington's grip on domestic semiconductor manufacturing.
Oh, well.
They're directly linking it to national security, economic independence. The government wants to ensure that critical supply chain stays onshore, right? Reducing reliance on overseas production, especially for those advanced chips vital for AI.
Makes sense.
It reflects this strategic imperative to secure technological sovereignty. But, it also makes you consider the evolving role of government in what were traditionally private enterprise domains. And what precedent does that set for other critical industries?
That's a really interesting angle, the precedent it sets. And this global race, it isn't just the U.S. and, say, China anymore, is it?
Not at all.
You mentioned interconnectedness. It looks like India is making its own significant move. Mukesh Ambani, head of Reliance, tapping Google, Meta, for a massive India AI push.
That's right, the Reliance Intelligence Initiative.
Exactly. They're aiming to build India's entire AI backbone, starting with, $100 million partnerships for cloud infrastructure, enterprise tools.
And using things like Meta's Llama model, their own geotech.
Yeah. So what does this actually signify for the global AI landscape? It's becoming more multipolar.
I think what's intriguing here is how these events, which seem distinct, NVIDIA's sales, the U.S. Intel deal, Reliance in India, they're all pieces of the same puzzle.
Right.
The same global competition for AI dominance and critically infrastructure. It shows AI isn't just tech, it's a strategic asset. for companies, for
Human
nations.
Jigasa, yeah.
And India's move specifically shows a desire not just to use AI, but to build its own capabilities, to really assert its place in this multipolar AI world. It's about economics, sure, but it's also about future geopolitical influence.
Okay, so moving from that huge global stage, let's bring it closer to home. Our health.
A big area for AI.
Definitely. AI is making some incredible strides in medicine, though, not without its own complexity.
Always complex.
For instance, Mount Sinai. They've developed a new AI tool using over 1 million health records, and its goal, to predict disease risk from rare genetic variants.
That's fascinating.
Imagine a tool that could cut through years of guesswork, right? Guide earlier, smarter care, reduce false alarms for conditions that might otherwise go undiagnosed or misdiagnosed for ages. The potential seems huge.
Oh, the potential is profound. AI's ability to process just vast amounts of data, identify patterns invisible to us, that's leading us closer to truly personalized medicine.
Right, personalized to your biology.
Exactly. It's a massive leap in understanding individual genetic risks and tailoring healthcare. But this level of integration, it also brings new challenges, especially around the human element in healthcare.
And that's where things get complicated, isn't it? There was that study in The Lancet recently.
Ah, yes, the colonoscopy study.
Right, it really makes you pause. It found an AI tool significantly helped doctors catch more precancerous growths during colonoscopies, which sounds great, right? An objectively positive outcome.
Seems like a clear win.
But here's the kicker. After just 3 months of using this AI tool, the doctors involved, they actually became significantly worse at spotting those same growths without the AI's help. What does that tell us about human-AI collaboration in critical fields like medicine?
Well, it's a powerful, maybe even stark illustration of what we call de-skilling.
De-skilling.
Yeah, it highlights how relying on automation, even for really beneficial tasks, can potentially erode core human abilities. As the physician in the study put it, if I lose the skills, how am I going to spot the errors?
It's a chilling question.
It is. So the critical question for healthcare systems becomes, how do we harness AI's immense diagnostic power without compromising that irreplaceable human expertise? It's got to be a balance, augmentation, not replacement.
A balance, yeah.
And it forces us to rethink how we train medical professionals, how we design these AI tools, especially for critical decision-making.
That de-skilling effect is really profound. So what strategies could healthcare systems use to get the benefits without undermining the human expert? Is it training, tool design, policy maybe?
It's likely a mix of all three, I'd say.
Yeah.
We might need training protocols that emphasize active learning alongside the AI, maybe regularly testing unaided skills.
Keep the human skills sharp.
Exactly. And designing AI interfaces that encourage critical review, not just passive acceptance. Policy could maybe mandate periodic skill refreshers or set clearer boundaries on when AI is an assistant versus, the primary decision maker.
Right.
The goal really should be creating this collaborative loop where AI enhances but doesn't diminish human capacity.
That seems like a vital discussion we need to have as this tech accelerates.
Yeah.
Okay, let's zoom in now on how AI is shaping our everyday interactions, starting with a really crucial conversation about young people.
Yes, the meta situation.
Right. Meta is tightening its AI rules for teens after some pretty significant backlash about their AI chatbots, right?
There was concern.
They've announced they'll block these chatbots from discussing sensitive topics, things like self-harm, sex, romance, with teenagers. Instead, younger users will only get access to vetted, age-appropriate AI characters.
Which seems necessary.
It really highlights that critical balance, doesn't it, between innovation and responsibility, especially when it comes to protecting kids in these, increasingly digital spaces.
Absolutely. The rapid integration of AI into social platforms, it means ethical considerations are just, boom, front and center.
Can't ignore them.
No. The need for clear guardrails, thoughtful design, particularly for vulnerable groups like teens, it's not just clear, it's urgent. And if we connect this to the bigger picture, how AI will live with us day to day, Google has a pretty compelling vision for AI hardware.
Oh, yeah. Different from just one device.
Exactly. They seem to be betting on a web of interconnected wearables and accessories. Think watches, earbuds, smart glasses, all powered by their Gemini AI assistant.
Ambient computing.
Precisely. They apparently called it the spaghetti stage of hardware experimentation, aiming for the seamless ambient computing where AI is just everywhere around you, kind of anticipating your needs, which makes me wonder, is that vision going to deliver on the promise of simplicity, tech fading into the background? Or are we heading for gadget overload, just a million devices constantly vying for attention?
That is a great question. Simplicity or overload? And speaking of specific gadgets, Plod.ai just launched something interesting.
The note taker.
Yeah, their $179 AI note taker with a screen. The Plod Note Pro. This isn't just a simple voice recorder. It seems like a big step up.
What's new about it?
Well, it's got a small AMOLED screen, double the mics for better noise suppression, a longer recording range like 16 feet. It can even tell if you're on a call or talking in person. Plus, 50 hours of battery life.
Pretty impressive specs.
But the app seems key. Customizable summaries, template-based insights. You can actually query your notes, so it's not just recording. It's turning that raw audio into useful, searchable intelligence instantly.
Making the information actionable.
Exactly. And apparently, Plod's already shipped over 1 million devices. They're kind of a quiet leader in this space.
That's a really compelling example, actually, of how these sort of niche AI devices are finding real-world problems to solve, moving beyond just general-purpose AI into these specialized, high-impact tools for, your productivity. A device like that fundamentally shifts how we manage personal knowledge.
Yeah, I can see that.
For busy professionals, it could really influence decision-making, making information retrieval, synthesis, almost effortless. It shows AI's power when it's focused on a specific, tangible need.
Okay, and finally, for something completely different, let's head outdoors.
Outdoors. AI on the trails.
Believe it or not, yeah. AI isn't just for desks and labs. It's becoming your trail companion. We're seeing this rise in AI-powered nature apps. Merlin Bird ID, iNaturalist, things like that.
I've heard of those. How do they work again?
They use machine learning, basically, to recognize bird songs, identify plants, insects, all in real time. You point your phone, snap a picture, or just let it listen, and boom, it tells you what you're seeing or hearing.
That's pretty cool.
The impact is actually quite significant. They're turning casual hikes into these interactive science lessons. Apparently, there's a surge of younger hikers sharing their discoveries on TikTok, Instagram.
Engaging a new generation.
Exactly. And what's more, they're actively contributing to biodiversity research. The data collected is valuable.
So what does that ultimately signify for our relationship with nature, with citizen science?
Well, it signifies this really exciting bridge, doesn't it, between technology and ecological engagement. AI is kind of democratizing access to scientific observation.
Making everyone a potential citizen scientist.
Precisely. It fosters a deeper connection with nature by making it more accessible, more understandable. You learn about your immediate environment.
And the data helps actual research.
Yeah, the data collected through these apps offers really valuable, real-time insights for biodiversity research, conservation efforts. It shows how AI can directly contribute to understanding and, protecting the natural world.
That's a fantastic application, really positive.
Okay, before we wrap things up, just a quick heads up on some other significant developments, more on the security side of things.
Always important.
Google recently expanded its drift breach warning. They're urging everyone to treat all SalesLoft drift tokens. Those are the authentication credentials for the sales platform. Treat them as compromised.
Why is that?
Because attackers apparently accessed Google Workspace emails linked to them. So if this affects you or your company, Google says immediate revokes and reviews of all linked services are critical.
Yeah, it's serious.
It's a crucial security alert in our, super interconnected world.
And that incident, it just underscores the constant need for vigilance, doesn't it, in this hyper-connected environment?
Absolutely.
As AI integrates more deeply into our digital tools, our infrastructure, the attack surface just expands. Security vulnerabilities become even more critical. Our data safety relies on constant awareness, proactive measures, robust security from everyone involved.
Well said.
Yeah.
And just to give a final sense of the sheer pace, we also saw Claude launch for Chrome, Google boosting image generation, some notable Meta exits, ongoing AI talks involving Apple, new open source breakthroughs.
It's relentless.
It really is a whirlwind out there. New developments almost daily. So we've really covered a lot of ground today, a proper deep dive into this sprawling world of AI.
We definitely have.
We started with the titans of tech and global politics, right?
Right.
NVIDIA's concentrated power, that strategic U.S. Intel deal, India's big AI push,
The big picture stuff.
then into personalized medicine. Both the huge hope of genetic prediction and that stark caution about potential de-skilling for doctors.
The double-edged sword.
Yeah. We touched on ethics for teens with Meta's changes, Google's vision for AI hardware everywhere. that clever Plod Note Pro gadget.
Making information useful.
And we even went outdoors, seeing how AI nature apps are turning us all into citizen scientists. We've explored AI's economic muscle, its ethical tightropes, its unexpected everyday uses,
Yeah.
hopefully helping you grasp this complex tapestry.
I think what we've really seen today is that AI isn't some single monolithic thing. It's this dynamic force shaping our world in just countless ways. Some profound, some subtle.
Mhm.
It's a tool of immense power, for good, potentially for ill. It's pushing boundaries, but it's also demanding really careful consideration of the consequences.
Definitely need that consideration.
So, as you reflect on all this, maybe consider how its power to both enhance and, like we saw with the medical example, potentially diminish human skills, how that will shape the roles we play in a future that's increasingly augmented by these intelligent systems.
That's the big question.
Yeah, what does it truly mean to be an expert when AI can do so much? And crucially, how do we make sure we leverage its power without losing essential human capabilities?
That's a truly provocative thought to leave everyone with, and one that really resonates. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive.
My pleasure.
We really encourage you to reflect on these insights. Notice how AI is impacting your world, from the biggest headlines to the apps on your phone, maybe even the birds in your backyard.
Stay curious.
Exactly. Until next time, keep digging, keep learning, and keep an eye on how these exciting and sometimes worrying developments continue to unfold around you.